What's up, guys? I'm back from E3. Did you miss me? Because, like, I totally missed you. The feels are real. This week's champion trends feature Jarvan 4, Kha'Zix, Singed, Viktor, Zigz, and Kassadin. I'm Lindsay Geektron with Zam Network, and it's raining men on this edition of LolKing's League Trends. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, the champions on the increase in pick rates feature Quinn up first. Katarina, Jarvan 4, Twitch, and Lucian follow up. After Kha'Zix got nerfed, players have been looking for a new viable jungler to take his place. Jarvan seems to be the man for the job, especially since he got buffed a few patches ago. Bro, do you even buff? His passive now does 10% at all ranks, while his defensive ability, Golden Aegis, had the mana cost halved. The mana decrease allows the ability to be more spammable, which in turn makes Jarvan more tanky. Because the top junglers in the game right now are Lee Sin, Elise, and Evelynn, everything else is considerably weaker. Due to how often these champions get banned, it allows other junglers to get a chance to shine. Jarvan, Nocturne, and Vi are all getting more attention even in competitive play. Jarvan is being played more by teams that want to run more of a wombo combo type of composition. Jarvan can be paired up with mid laners like Orianna or Zigz because he creates a small zone with Cataclysm for them to land ultimates on multiple targets. Get wrecked. Champions on the decreased pick rate this week include Kha'Zix, Karthus, Rengar, Jax, and Nami. The bug on the Rift is disappearing faster than the polar ice caps. About a month ago, Kha'Zix had nearly 80% ban rate in solo queue, and now he's at 5%. This shows how much of an effect those nerfs Riot put in place are really having on this guy. The nerfs pretty much destroyed Kha'Zix and removed all of the reasons he was played. He no longer has an execute on his evolved claws, and his ultimate will not reduce damage taken, which basically means he's not that tanky assassin we all knew him to be. There is some silver lining as Riot is trying to balance his tankiness with his damage. At level 6, the new evolved claws does more damage than it used to, but only if the target is isolated. Because the isolation range was reduced, it's now more difficult for the Void Reaver to take advantage of the extra damage. Compared to his OP status a month ago, he is a mere shadow of his former self. And unless Riot gets a bug up their butt again, we won't be seeing him stalking the Rift too much in competitive play. The increase in win rates list is becoming really notorious for random champs. Fan favorite Urgot leads with over 3%, while Singed, Scion, Rumble, and Talon round it out. Showing up for the first time on our show is the Mad Chemist himself. So Singed is an interesting champ because he has a very unique style of play. Generally speaking, your main goal in playing Singed is to be as obnoxious as you can while putting pressure on your lane. One of the great things about Singed is proxy farming. You can farm minion waves easily with his poison trail. All he has to do is walk around with his poison running, and he'll leave a trail of death in his wake. The benefit of proxy farming is that your opponent has to either face tank the minion wave or let it hit the tower and attempt a last hit from there. He's kind of annoying like that. You just don't chase the Singed, as his kit is all about kiting and running away. He has a slow, a fling, and an ultimate that gives him health regen and movement speed increase. TLDR, you'll never catch up to a Singed, and you'll end up dying to his poison trail while trying. So, good luck with that. Decreases in win rates this week have Karthus in the lead. Poppy, Kha'Zix, Viktor, and Cassiopeia finish off the list. Viktor isn't a very popular champion, and someone who doesn't really fit well into the current meta. He's not very mobile, and his abilities are awkward to use. Kinda like me. Viktor's the only champion in League that starts with an item, the Hex Core. Although it's a cool concept, having one less inventory slot can be an issue. The Hex Core can be upgraded with gold, and there are 3 paths you can pick from. Of all of the upgrades you can choose from, the Augment Death is almost better in all situations for Viktor, so there really aren't that many choices. This ability gives your death rate a dot that deals 30% of initial damage onto the afflicted target. In a late game scenario, you have to choose to either keep the Hex Core or sell it for another item, which kinda defeats the point of Viktor. The Machine Herald is a unique snowflake on the Rift, but one that isn't incredibly viable in the current state of the game. Perhaps Riot should skip Darius's rework and give Viktor one instead. He's kind of obsolete. The increases in ban rates this week include Yasuo, LeBlanc, Draven, Morgana, and Zigz. This week, there is a small rise in Zigz's ban rate, just in time for summer with water balloons and pool parties. Zigz is one of the few champions that are always safe to blind pick. He's very strong in lane due to his poke and his passive, which allows him to win all auto attack trades. One of the things he's known for is how much of a lane bully he is, and his ability to consistently win lane. He also has more wave clear than any other champions in the game. All of his abilities are AoE, and he can even clear a wave in other lanes with his ultimate Mega Inferno Bomb. Zigz also offers a lot of zoning with his explosive minefield and satchel charge to knock people away. This allows a team to take a tower or dragon with a lot of safety. With incoming nerfs to mid laners like Nidalee and LeBlanc, you can count on this Yordle to make even more of a splash on the Rift in the future. Finally, our decrease in ban rates list this week has Kha'Zix down over 23%. Rengar, Kassadin, Evelynn, and Braum rounded out. Just because Kassadin's ban rate is decreasing doesn't mean he's not frustrating to play against or weaker than he was. Kassadin is known as the anti-mage because he has a shield that only blocks magic damage. His early game is actually fairly strong for this reason, and he's able to trade effectively in lane. However, he can be counterpicked with a physical damage champion like Zed or Yasuo, since Kassadin's kit won't protect him from them at all. If Kassadin can get out of the laning phase, he can do really well against AD champions because he's able to build items like Frozen Gauntlet, Zhonya's Hourglass, or even Frozen Heart to make him very tanky. With the low cooldown on Rift Walk, Kassadin becomes the hardest champion to catch in the game with a gap closer on a 3-second cooldown. Kassadin is banned or picked in nearly every competitive game because he always gives you a chance to come back even if you're behind. Good guy, Kassadin. And that does it for this week's show. Please be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates. Please be sure to like and comment below if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolKing.net, for more great content. Thanks to Cloth5 for the analysis. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitter @LindsayGeektron. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see everyone next week.